partnered with Skylight Gallery, and we partnered with Long Island University's Salena Gallery, where I'm a board member of their board of trustees for the university. I think people are really tired of the status quo and they want to change, and so this exhibition will be part of making that happen, and elevating people's consciousness to the need for change.
The thematic basis for the work was inspired by some of the African American men who's lost their lives in incidents with police during 2014. I wanted to reflect on the incidents, bear witness to the incidents in which they lost their lives, and also to present them as the people that they were.
So focusing on the N-word, I realized there's so much that I needed to discuss. Power is similar in the sense of a very complex word like the word nigger. It brings up questions that people need to start thinking about, or if they have been thinking about them, that they need to start discussing more.
What I was doing was really breaking down the whole black and white dynamic.
As an artist, you need to be talking about relevant things that are happening in society. Black men and women are dying, and not only from the hands of the police, but also it's also a situation where you find black men killing other black men.
I feel that a lot of the situations that are bridged off from slavery are continuing in a lot of the acts that African Americans are going through within their smaller community.
There are people who come, they're accepted in one way or another for 400 years. Black people have to deal with racism, and even today there's still traits of racism. So bringing awareness of that situation is important.
The piece is something that was very moving for me to be a part of the march that was here in New York, December last year after the Eric Garner situation. I believe that power, protest, and resistance actually resonates with me in an extreme deep way.
The main focus of the work is to try to create a kind of a faux memoriam that these victims will never get. And since we tend to have a very temporary thought process about these victims, I decided to start documenting and cataloging all the lives lost.
There is a lot of standardized testing that causes a lot of bit of, you can say, controversy for students, staff members, parents, and it's just imagining what direction people would take if they were really allowed to express themselves on that test in a free kind of way.
I find that you just go around, you just go about your daily life and not really think of what's happening somewhere else in the world. And that's something that should, people should think about more.
In this society, we have to, all of these things come into play, resistance, power, and whatever else it takes to liberate us.
It's an installation inspired by Amazing Grace, the song, and we just sat down and thought about what grace meant to us and others.
It's a combination of past and as well as present and future. So it's revealing like how far we have come and how far we still have to go.
There's a lot of stories that aren't told about queer or trans women of color, and especially trans folks of color. So I wanted to make sure that that story got out there from a community perspective.
Seeking to really empower ourselves and to step into the power that we already have and have been kind of brainwashed or programmed out of realizing that we have the power that we do.
The base idea behind the project is the conceptual idea of impermanence, and the idea that nothing lasts, even this, the idea of the home being a symbol for stability, even that is something that is fleeting.
The piece includes objects of domesticity and how that relates to my identity. We are unfortunately a broken community, and there's still a lot of things that we have to fix and that we have to work towards to progress as a whole.
I contributed one piece, and it uses the Black woman's body as a central subject, and it explores resistance and uses the body at rest.
Pretty much, it gives me a voice. It gives me a voice. Especially, I was blown away by that scene, and I wanted to convey that in the art piece.
In this scene, it's a Black youth essentially drowning by all these burdens that are historical, that are cultural, that are just weighing them down. And as much as they try and climb up out and use the flag, which is supposed to represent the American dream, all these things, all these factors are really having them sink.
You can't have a shift in our society, a shift in the perception of racism without all three. It's not just about power, and it's not just about resistance, and it's not just about protests. It's about figuring out the balance of the three and a couple other attitudes inside.